And now your starting line. Number 21, Alex.
So how are you, Kieran?
Oh, hey, Darren. How are you? Can we sit down now?
You can sit down.
I can sit down. Great.
I'm trying to figure out which. Oh, there we go. That's
There we go. Welcome to those of you sitting at home, watching this, streaming this, however you want. We don't know if you can hear us.
We're hoping you can.
We're just sorting out our cords and wires here.
There we go.
This is, you're getting the privilege of being joined by Darren Woloshin here on my right, and myself, Kieran McMahon.
Who's on my left, by the way?
There we go.
I thought I'd throw that out there.
We were apparently the most appropriate faces for audio here today.
So true.
So true. We're looking forward to the first kickoff of the 2024 season of League 1BC.
A few changes in the league this year, I believe, without
No Highlanders.
no Highlanders.
No Notsamon. The addition of Burnaby FC.
Yeah, Burnaby FC will be kind of now making themselves known, and we'll get to see them up here at some point.
Yeah. We're excited for our group. We've had a quick start. I think they had their first and only open ID camp just a week ago. A few training sessions this week, and then on the field.
It's amazing how quick it turns over.
Yeah. Well, I think our group is a lot of them know each other from TRU, but there's a lot of new faces and new leadership as well in head coach David Cork.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm just thinking through as these players shake hands and go through it, and how many of them I know or have seen in the past, and aside from the TRU players, obviously.
When you've been coaching for 75 years, like yourself.
No, it's one thing to be a guy on the sideline.
You coach some of the grandparents of these players, right?
Some of their grandparents. Maybe not quite that bad, but we're looking forward to this. It's a very windy day up
blustery,
here.
Blustery. We've got to use some good vocabulary here. We can't say windy.
I
We've got to say blustery.
I just think the worst thing.
Northeasterly wind. Is that how you?
That's how you could say it.
These football posts here that are turned around look like they're going to bend over and touch the ground.
Speaking of which, it's the worst thing. I think I can deal with rain. I can deal with heat. I can deal with snow. It's when you get wind in a match. It's so hard to play.
Oh yeah. It's exhausting too to run up and down the field with that wind right in your face.
Yes.
And having all the extra movements you got to do to just keep the ball under control. One bad touch and the ball's 50 yards away from you because the wind's carried it.
Mm-hmm. And it's
45 of those.
If you're not playing along the ground, you're asking for trouble, like you just said, with control. Period. So
the good players, they'll play it in the air to themselves. All right, they'll get that high ball in. They'll make the run on.
Yeah.
The wind will kick it back into them. They'll get the good touch. That's how I used to play.
But the whole thing is, though,
use the wind. Would use the wind to my advantage.
But the whole thing is, I think you almost train for it as a kid. I don't know how many of these. Well, I guess the TRU players will be a little bit more used to the wind here.
Up at Hillside Stadium.
Yes.
Here in Kamloops. Beautiful views, blustering winds.
Blustering winds.
We'll go through our starting lineup here for Rivers. I did not bring my glasses, so this is going to be harder for me to tell. Starting in net, we've got Kelsey Fisher, Jocelyn Orr, Kat Stewart, and Taylor Miller up front. Ainsley Greether, Howie Disa, and Annika Black in the midfield. On the back line, we got Rhea Rumo, Cambria Mellum, and Olivia McLennan, and then another forward on the park is Malia Fernie. So this being our first game observing this team under David Cork, not quite sure the formation we're going to come out in here today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But as we keep saying, we're looking forward to this. It's quite the in between once the university season actually concludes, and then the League One teams start up and start training. So it's
a tight turnaround.
Yeah.
Altitude traveling up here with a shortened roster. I think 15. 2 of them are keepers. Probably a lot of players tied up in the adult provincials happening this weekend as well down on the coast. Altitude starting lineup. We've got in net. We've got Ava Jones. I think that's Ava Jones, Sophia Nichols, Lauren Gray, Amelia Russo, Avery Tulloch, Kiana Langston, Maya Smith, Ava Temple, Alex Paul, Jade Mitchell, and Sophie Hill. 2 Avas, only 2 Avas, and an Avery. That could be confusing sometimes, running around on the field calling that out, and we've kicked off here. So I believe I am taking care of play-by-play. This is going to be this is my first foray into that. So apologies to those thousands and hundreds of thousands of fans watching at home. But we've got a little bit of possession here by Altitude, just moving it around their back 4, looking for an opportunity to play forward, maybe testing out the wind, a bit hesitant to play long.
Oh, I thought we were going to see our first long ball there.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Just to see how
Still
bad the wind
up,
is.
Yeah. Rivers playing tight, trying to cut off those angles. Trying to force. Maybe they're hoping for that long ball from Altitude, so we can get hung up in the wind and we can win it back. I say we. Am I supposed to be neutral here? I'm not quite sure.
You know, that's a tough call. It always is when you're in the booth.
And our first throw-in of the game.
What do we look like we're set up like? Rivers looks like a 4-5-1.
You know, it would have been good if we paid attention to that right at kickoff.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I think it's a 4-5-1.
It's looking
or 4-1-4-1.
Looking like a holding center mid. 4-3-3, 4-5-1. But that one striker, Ainsley Grether in the midfield, playing high at the moment. Altitude looking to be playing similarly. 4-3-3 holding mid. Back into the defensive half of Altitude, knocking it around their back 4 a little bit. Out to the right side. That's Howie Abdisa pressing their fullback, forcing them back. Howie in the number 10 today, hey?
Yes. I don't know whose arm she twisted to gather that. And there's our first lofted ball, and you can see the wind carrying it.
That's going to throw it. It's basically coming right across the field, east-west almost, across the field, west to east anyways. Anything high is just going to cut right off to the sideline by the benches.
Well, that was a great
Rivers
touch.
with a couple of combinations there to get into the attacking half of Altitude, but lost the ball. Won it back again. Bit of back and forth here as the teams are settling in. Back around the back 4 again for Altitude. Rivers looking to hold them in their defensive third. And out for a Rivers throw.
Kind of a central play here, mind you. We're 3 minutes into the match here, but very cautious in their play at the moment.
Yeah, assessing each other out at the moment, testing the wind. Probably new for both groups, not being together too long. For Rivers, it's probably about 40% returning players this year from last year, and probably that same kind of small mix from TRU who've played together, but it's always difficult to get those first few games out of the way. I don't think Rivers themselves have not played an exhibition game this season, so
nice.
Just an inner squad.
Nice to see some of the newer TRU players mixed in with the Rivers group now. There's some young ones, Kat Stewart being one of them from Ontario, who's on the bench today.
Okay, if we wave at them, can they see us? Hi, Kat.
I'm not sure.
There we go. I think if you're here at this game today, you want to be up here in the media booth with us. It's no wind. We got some heaters going.
It's pretty nice. But to think we're at the end of April and we're in need of heaters.
Ball into central midfield, turned by Jocelyn, lost possession, altitude, and called down by the referee.
I'm not sure what that
I'm
call
not
would
sure
have
why
been
that
for.
was. It's gone back to the back line, so just that's a poorly played ball in there.
Yeah, given away for sure.
Yeah, altitude on the attack, into the attacking third. Going against an unbalanced back line for Rivers. Some good possession around the top of the box, and a shot on the goal. Intercepted by Rhea, the TRU Athlete of the Year.
Athlete of the Year, that is correct.
Yeah, and clear it out, and Altitude's possession from a throw. We do have football lines here, so maybe we can say it, the 40-yard line? I don't know if you want to say
I
that.
don't know if you want to say it.
Currently 16 degrees Celsius.
Ball around the back for Altitude.
26 kilometers.
Just around the top of their defensive third. Trying to play defeat into the middle, but intercepted by Rivers. Into Ray Rumo. Back to the goalkeeper, Kelsey. Altitude Rivers getting a little bit of possession here. 3 or 4 passes now on the trot. Into Ainsley, who's made a run out to the left wing. Tried to play that fancy outside the foot curved ball into Taylor. Lost possession.
Ball's out for a throw.
Ball's
like
out
that.
for a that's what I say. Isn't
I know, it is
Isn't
what
that
you
what I
say,
say?
and then
that's
I'm
okay.
supposed to-
I'm happy. I'm happy to pass it off to you there.
No, it's quite all right.
As I stated before, I'm neither good at play-by-play or color commentary.
Oh, you've been fantastic so far. 6 minutes in.
6 minutes.
No regrets.
I'm out of everything. All I know is sublimely played set piece. That's all I know. I'm waiting for that.
There you go.
Ball over the top from Rivers into that attacking third, and out of play on the goal line. Out of touch on the goal. Is it touch? Touch the sideline.
Touch? No, I thought the end line was touch.
Touches the end line as well. Goal. Anyways, goal kick for Altitude.
It's a goal kick for Altitude. You had mentioned Rhea earlier. I think she's probably the fastest player on this pitch between both teams.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt in that.
No, not many people.
Especially if she's running up the pitch today with the wind going behind her.
Oh, you see that
Heavy
ball
lofted ball held up in the air.
dropped for sure.
Yeah. Altitude with possession just around the half on their back four.
Oof.
Heavy ball over the top
Big
into
tip.
the striker. Easy save from her keeper.
I think that
I guess
tackle
looking for
from
the strikers is the better term, yeah.
tackle from Grether there. It was a late
Oh, yeah,
tackle,
here we
so
go.
they've
Call played
referees called it back for a free kick.
Altitude with another chance to play it here.
Free kick to Altitude FC.
Looks like we're going to play long here. Trying to get over the top. That one played well.
That's quite the float, though. Wow.
Dropped into the top of the box. Easy pickup for the goalkeeper.
That's a
Playing
great
out
throw.
wide to the right side.
Rivers FC goalkeeper number 1, Kelsey Fisher.
Annika double teamed, losing possession there in midfield. Altitude coming out with numbers up attack. Ball across into the box, cleared out comfortably by TRU Athlete of the Year, Ray Rumo, who's just made a clearance mistake.
That's a tough
and
ball.
That Altitude could not capitalize on.
Yeah.
What do you think happened there, Darren?
I just think it was mishit. She took her eye off the ball when she swung through it, missed it completely. That's a tendency to happen if you're not focused on the ball in front of you. What do you think?
I would concur. Goal kick from Rivers, played up the right side of the park, out of touch, throw in for Altitude.
Again, it's tough to say because the wind's going across the pitch, but I'm finding the kicks from...
It's eased off. It looks like it's eased off a bit here in this area of the park, so it's not getting held up as much. Throw for Rivers. Possession around the back into the goalkeeper, Kelsey. Clearance up the park. Knocked down one by Rivers, but lost. Possession to Altitude into the back four. Seeming to have comfortable possession around the half. Comfortable moving around the back. Rivers have dropped off. They seem to be letting the Altitude back line have it.
Mm-hmm.
Let them have it back there. invite them into the tighter space, line of confrontation right around halfway.
Oh, what a deflection.
Little through ball from altitude, pop through into the striker. Trying to work on a shot here. Took a shot, rebounded off of, deflected off of, I guess, one of the Rivers.
Yeah,
what a out of the air.
What a deflection. Those are very tough for keepers because if you're moving one way and it automatically shifts somewhere else, it's...
especially with this wind as well.
Yeah, you just never know where it's going to end up.
Some good pressing by Rivers when altitude have it in the middle. They're having a bit of a hard time getting through the middle, and they're having to try to play over the top. Seems to be the only way altitude seems to be getting through here today, so far.
Looks like a good portion of the channels are being cut off by all the Rivers players here. Seem to be sitting right in the right spaces. Another lofted
Altitude
ball
with
floating.
possession, trying to play that ball over the top. Easily intercepted by Rivers. Trying to find ways for some possession. Lost possession here. Well, 2 versus 2 on the wing here for altitude. Easily cleared out by 16 from Rivers, who is, let me see if I can get these names down.
I love the fact we're both going for our phones at the moment.
That's Olivia McLennan there on the left back.
There we go.
Altitude with some possession around the outside of the box on the right hand. Crossed in to the top of the 6. No connection by either Rivers or altitude. A little bit of a scramble out on the far side. Ball out of touch. Altitude throw. Ball not well cleared by Rivers. Comfortable possession here by altitude. Long ball into the box. Striker alone. Shot on goal just wide.
Really good battle there. The striker did well from altitude to fight off the defender, central defender, Rhea. Win the ball for a strike. I'm not calling it a free kick.
Oh, really?
I thought that.
We really should know more about what's going on there, hey?
Shape-wise, they look okay, though. I mean,
Yeah,
Rivers looks like they're maintaining a defensive shape. I think they're losing sight of maybe the players, a little bit of players around them. More shoulder checking needs to happen.
They're waiting. They're being patient. They're waiting for altitude to play in. Altitude, really, their only solution so far is to try to play that ball over the top. They haven't got much through the middle on the ground. Yeah. Rivers being patient. Shifting, adjusting. Nobody's biting on anything too early. Altitude's trying to run through the middle now. Long ball over the top. 2 strikers running onto it. Easy clearance by the goalkeeper, Kelsey. You could see Rhea's speed there.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
they were both ahead of her.
Yeah,
and
they
she
had
was
a couple
able
steps, and she easily caught that up.
Yeah.
Throwing here on the right for altitude. Into their captain. Being double teamed by Black and Abdisa. Howie trying to play a searching ball through.
Play the ball.
Taylor's quick, but she's not that quick. Comfortable possession here by Rivers. Into the midfield to Annika. Square to Ainsley. Square-ish. Out wide here to Olivia. Down the line to Howie. Howie's turned. One-on-one here in the corner. Back to Olivia. And a loss of possession. Just an unforced error there. Rivers dropping off, letting altitude have it, getting their shape, getting organized.
I think they could have been a little bit more patient here on the sideline, taking a bit more time.
It seemed rushed. Yeah. Actually, the most promising attacking play so far from our team in orange.
Mm-hmm.
Ainsley's pulled. Do you think Ainsley's playing midfield there, pulling herself out to press their back line?
I would think so. I think she's trying to help with the moving the ball forward and getting some pressure, a little more than just the one striker. I actually think they could probably get away with adding another striker and still be okay throughout the middle of the park.
Yeah.
That could be part of the plans already.
Some good possession here by Rivers. Trying to play through Annika. Just inch off on that pass there. The wind looked to push it back towards her a little bit. Number 17 for Altitude, slotting the ball through to the striker. A little bit too much. Kelsey easily coming out. The goalkeeper for Rivers coming out.
Well done for the keeper to read that.
Ball out here on the left, into Olivia, up the line to Howie. Howie just didn't have the legs to get there.
It's tough. You have to play into feet on this type of a surface, this turf surface, to make it easier.
It is a fast surface, yeah.
Playing in the space only works when you have acreage in front of you.
Little combination here with Annika and Ainsley. Fun fact, Annika is known colloquially across the team as Mini-Me.
They just call her Minnie.
They call her Minnie. She's the Mini Ainsley. Ball into Annika. Comfortable possession here in center midfield. Out to Olivia. Into Howie.
Again, we're up in the booths. We can't hear any shouts from teams or teammates suggesting a turn because Howie had time to turn there. Again, a quick shout to Annika Black, and she can turn and open up into space.
This wind's you got to be loud in this wind too.
Oh, very much so.
If that's blustering. Blustering just gives the image of a lot of noise as well.
Yeah, very much so. It's all the blustering.
Some choppy possession. Play called down by the referee. Free kick to Rivers.
That go off a defender?
About 17 minutes into the game here.
Goal kick,
Most of the threat has been by Altitude playing those long balls over the top. Rivers have managed to find some good possession, building in their confidence a little bit when they've got the ball at their feet. Goal kick here for Altitude. Moving it around their back four. Rivers dropping the line of confrontation to about the attacking third. Looking to force Altitude to play long.
That's a good ball.
Out here on the right side for Altitude. Little 1v1 against Howie. Cut inside. Top of the box here for Altitude. Back to their center back, who's stepping up into the play. Playing a long ball over the top.
Oh, what a great
ball.
ball.
Out to the left wing. Cleared by Rivers. Altitude was with possession coming into the attacking third. Looking to play the ball down the wing. A little combination play. Intercepted by Rivers. One back by Altitude.
I think the pressure could be a little bit better from Rivers. They're standing off just a little bit too much for.
It does seem that
for my liking.
They're letting Altitude play with a bit too much confidence.
Yes,
looks like that for sure. Goal kick here in for Rivers. Who was that center back there for Rivers? They're playing with Rhea.
Let's see.
I can't see the number on these shirts. Sorry for the fans at home.
we're trying to suss
shot here
out.
from Altitude high,
Exactly.
high into the outside.
Goal kick for Rivers FC.
It could be Cambria Mullen.
Yeah. Is that 14? Well, let's keep an eye on that there for you.
I thought it was a 15 from the distance. Here you go.
Ball under Rhea. Playing square to Cambria. We'll make sure it's Cambria. Clearance up. Taylor Miller chasing it down into the corner. She has legs, but the wind is faster, carrying that ball off the park. I think a quick ball through can catch this Altitude backline off guard here. Defensively, they seem to play it a little bit high.
Many thanks to our KYSA U8 girls for escorting our Rivers FC women's team today onto the pitch and for serving as ball girls during the match.
I'm looking at the other center back, and it looks like she's wearing number 29, but I don't see a 29 on the list.
Thrown here for Rivers on the right side, taken in by Jocelyn Orr. I'm guessing that's Jocelyn. That looks like Jocelyn. Albeit she's like 100 meters away, and I'm not wearing my glasses. A little bit of a attempted possession there, attempted cross in, just not connected well. Out of play, goal kick for Altitude.
Altitude FC.
Hey, look at that. Into play here. To our left. Altitude coming forward. Rivers with that lower line of confrontation, really waiting for them to come into the half of the field. Letting that back four have it. They're not a threat. Altitude from here. It's a long way to goal. Drop off, conserve some energy, wait for them to make mistakes, pounce on that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one there. Center back trying to play a hopeful ball in, intercepted by the Rivers right back, and now a bit of a scramble play here on the left side of the park for Rivers. Some possession. Rivers trying to knock it around into the back line.
Good decision.
Time and space. Good decision from Jocelyn Orr there in center midfield. Rhea trying to be tricky, almost losing possession there. Ball back to Kelsey. Into Howie. Back to Olivia. Attempt over the top. Intercepted by Altitude. Back here on the right wing for Altitude, coming 1v1 against Olivia. Got the best of her inside. Slicing that ball in the middle. Comfortable clearance by Rivers. Out for a throw.
I'm noticing that substitution. Kate Ritty is now in on the right side for Kat Stewart.
For Kat Stewart. Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah.
I was just noticing that doesn't look like Kat anymore.
I wonder what could have happened here.
Could be just tactical. Could be fatigue. Some of them haven't played. Like you said, there was no exhibition games or anything for any of these girls for Rivers.
All right, just losing a little bit of focus on that first touch. Ball up here on the left side into Howie.
That should be
And
a
just
throw
out of touch.
for Rivers, which is a good thing. Give him a bit of a break.
Many thanks to our Rivers FC supporters who came to support the women's team today. If you boogied the
Annika Black connecting with Ainsley Gruther.
Again, maybe
Into
a
Howie.
one-time touch from Gruther out wide would have been the proper choice.
There's the promise of some good combination
Yeah,
play
for
here
sure.
for Rivers. Jocelyn just a bit uncomfortable losing the ball there. Altitude coming up on their left side. Cross into the box, being held up in the wind a little bit, causing just a bit of uncertainty between the center back and the keeper.
I still think there could be a little bit more pressure on the ball. They're being standoffish for balls on the sideline. Like the ball just right there that got crossed in. Could have been
You
a
pointed
player
at?
stepping in.
The
The one I pointed at.
It's for those of you at home. You can see
folks
right
at
there.
home can't see that I'm pointing, but I am pointing at the moment.
Ball out of touch, throwing for Rivers in the just at the edge of the attacking third here on the right side. Into Annika in the center midfield. Unforced
away.
error, lost the possession. Altitude coming forward, slowly allowing Rivers the time to drop back and get organized. Ball around the back for Altitude. Rivers dropping off, giving them a bit of space, looking for those long balls. One was just attempted comfortably controlled by Rivers. Just some simple loss of possession here, with very little pressure. Just showing kind of the team's just a bit rusty. Just needing that extra time, that extra seasoning to be just a bit sharper.
Yeah, the thought process as well. That comes from playing games as well to sharpen that up.
uncertain of where their
decision-making.
teammates are. Yeah,
Yeah.
just not having the benefit of having played together for too long yet.
No.
And you're seeing that out here today. Give them a few games. They're looking a little bit more well-oiled, coming out of the back, connecting in the midfield, playing up the wing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit rusty with that at the moment. And, of course, the blustering wind doesn't help here.
No, the wind is a nightmare.
Ainsley Grether pushing through, trying to play that ball forward. Altitude with a foul. Free kick for Rivers just at the top of the attacking third.
Now, with this wind, this could be a very dangerous ball in, even if it's not sort of sent into a direction where there's player. Oh, there we go. Out wide.
Out wide.
Go for a
We're
cross
gonna look
ball
for a cross in.
That's
Dangerous
still
cross coming
dangerous.
into the top of the box. Punched
Finish.
away by the goalkeeper.
Boy.
To the feet of Taylor Miller. Comfortably took that down and just struck it over the crossbar.
A little more of a lean forward into that.
That's actually the biggest threat of the game so far, it seems like.
I think so as well.
Yeah. Free kick here for Altitude.
First A chance for Rivers for sure.
Altitude coming forward, looking to play that long ball over the top. Wind holds it up a little bit. That really is an advantage for the Rivers back line here. For those long balls, they get held up. Gives us a little bit more, gives Rivers a little bit more time to read and react. Altitude with possession, trying to force that ball through. Ray Rumo reading it well. Blocking those channels through and behind her. A little 1v1 here on the wing. Touch back to the fullback, out to the Altitude wing, cross into the box. A little bit awkward to deal with in the wind, coming across the face of goal and bouncing out for a goal kick.
It's funny because according to our lovely little weather map, it's supposed to end around 4 o'clock, the high winds that we're seeing right now.
Oh, interesting. And how do you think that will impact the game, Darren?
Well, you know, I think the game will be a little bit smoother once that wind is gone.
And Rivers will be playing in the other direction in that time of the game. Might be a significant advantage for them for the second half.
For sure.
Rivers with a clearance into Taylor Miller up front, trying to touch back to her attacking center mids. Loss of possession, but one back, and Taylor now trying to make that run up the right side of the park. She can be a threat out there out wide. She tends to be that central striker, but she is such a threat out on the wing as well.
Yeah.
Thrown for Altitude into their back four around the top of their box. Rivers with a low block. Altitude trying to step into the middle. Ainsley Grether almost winning missed touch from off the center back.
Boy.
Altitude playing that ball forward. You could definitely see that caught up in the wind. Out here on the right side for Altitude. Little combination play here. Just about 10
what a
yards to the
ball.
top of the box. Through ball into the left wing. Coming in unknown, seemingly, by the
that's-
fullback.
Again, as any of the backs should be, they should have their heads on a swivel. So
You've
they
got to
can
see that player.
Yeah.
That's a standard play. That's your blind side. You got to know. If you can't mark that player, you're cutting off the channel into them.
Yeah, you better taking a step back and being able to see everybody in front of you.
Oh, Altitude with it. Oh, Altitude giving up a corner kick here. Punt from the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
That wind carrying it down. Altitude defender
Touched.
not cleaning,
Yeah.
not clearing a ball. It's scooching through to the goalkeeper at a bad angle. Her scrambling to try to clear it and out for a corner kick for Rivers. Direct example of the heavy blustering winds here playing to Rivers' advantage. Yes, fans, I'm going to say blustering another 10 times here today.
We should do a count. I think you folks at home, do a count of how many times Kieran says blustery.
And email that into the Rivers GM, Lyle DeSantos. Corner kick here for Rivers. That one held up in the wind a little bit,
Very
giving the
much
advantage
so.
to Altitude to clear out. Possession back to Rivers out here on the right side. Howie losing that possession. Some light pressure here,
It's another corner kick given away.
but an unforced error by Altitude forcing another corner kick. Rivers really were lucky there, allowing Altitude far too much time to have possession, but Altitude just creating that unforced error.
This might be a time for them to maybe change the. You can see the corner flag and the way it's blowing and how hard it's blowing. Now I see somebody making a run out there for a short corner. That would probably make a little bit more sense.
Good
Although
corner
that
in
ball
here.
in was
Coming
great.
into the far post, punched away by the goalkeeper. Kick
Goal!
back in. Goal by Taylor Miller.
Fantastic little setup, little clip back towards the middle, and finished by Taylor there. Fantastic ball.
Great cross in, coming in to the top of the 6 at the far post. Cut back in by Ray Arumo. Onto the feet of Taylor Miller into the goal. 1-0. Rivers FC with their first goal of the season.
First goal of the season. Gotta love it.
Likely first goal of the season for L1BC.
Are we the first game?
I believe so. Maybe we're the earliest kickoff.
Earliest kickoff.
Perhaps not. This is just pure conjecture here. But 1-0 for Rivers FC. Off to that's going to be a big boost of confidence here.
Has to be.
Definitely the wind helping out on that one. Altitude here showing a minor threat at the top of the box.
Again, a little shout of patience there for the right back would have helped.
A 1v1 here on the right wing. Crossed in front of the box, forcing a save by keeper Kelsey. She did well. Poor rebound on that, and the altitude striker looked to be on top of it.
And this is where you got to settle your back, settle the team down. You've just scored. It's that first 5 minutes after a kickoff that's usually fairly dangerous.
Long punt here from the goalkeeper, off of the center back's head and out for a goal kick again. This is an advantage Rivers needs to be taking the most of, making the most of.
We'll see if this corner produces anything exciting for our Rivers fans.
This is going with the wind now. Last corner was against the wind. Ainsley Grather taking this corner.
I think this is one of those ones that I think could curl into
Switching
the goal. If they get an in-swinger.
You could score from this.
You could score off of this
you get
directly.
That bullet, little in-swinger. Bend it like Beckham. That ball not staying in place in the corner arc.
No.
Olivia coming in for a short. Ball into the top of the 6. Altitude with a bit of a scramble. Ainsley Grather with the head comfortably into the hands of the altitude goalkeeper.
I think that could have been a good decoy and just have the ball played straight in from the corner kick.
Could have. Altitude with possession in their back 4. Out to the left fullback. Driving into the midfield. Trying to slot that ball through easily. Picked up by the right back for Rivers. Ball into Kate Ratty. Back to Jocelyn.
What a turn.
Great turn by Kate Ratty. Creating a numbers up situation on the right. Lucky to get that through. Cross into Ainsley. Comfortable bounce into the keeper's hands. Altitude coming out again. Rivers a bit slow to organize here defensively. Altitude not managing to make anything of that. They still look to be playing that long ball in. They're making those runs in, but thankfully the center back here has looked to play short, which has caused a problem here for Rivers. Slotted into the left side. Great defending by Jocelyn Orr. Altitude with the ball again. Back to their center backs. Trying to work this left side of the park. Top of the box. Won by Rivers, but promptly kicked back into the center backs of Altitude. Gain possession coming right back at Rivers. Ball over the top.
Great ball in again.
Into that left wing. Unable to make anything of it.
So for me, some of the players on the park could have a little bit more purpose behind what they're doing with passing. And being able to see where they're trying to get to. Have a little bit more understanding of where their players are. So when they do make the pass, they're making something a little bit more accurate.
It is. It's a lot of aimless clearances. And I think just that sense that you don't have the time on the ball.
Yeah, when you do.
When
you actually do, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You've got a few more seconds. You take that, just that half a second, just to think, compose yourself, and you've got some cleaner possession.
Yeah, you alluded to that earlier with the fact that the new players, new season, you're just getting the feel for the game and the players around you, so it can be a little awkward, I guess.
Thrown on the right-hand side of the park here for Rivers.
Oi.
Ooh, that must be a foul for the referee. That's a strong, strong attack into the back of Taylor Miller. Free kick for Rivers. Does that make sense? Strong attack into the back. It rhymes.
I'll settle for the rhyme.
Yeah.
Great ball.
Ball into the box. Free kick into the box. Onto the head of
Yes.
Ainsley Grether. Into the back of the net. 2-1 for
Ainsley-
Rivers FC.
Ainsley Grether with a header. That's fantastic.
Excellent start to the season here
That's
for Rivers.
A great ball. That strike came from just 5 yards across or 5 meters across the center line into the altitude half. It's a long distance ball that was first timed into the corner of the net.
Great free kick. Absolutely. Well taken. Well headed. Excellent, excellent, excellent situation here for Rivers to be in 2-0.
You think Ainsley's a little happy there?
10 minutes left in the first half. Ainsley is such a great motivator for the team. She wears her heart on her sleeve.
Definitely.
Getting the fans into the game. Altitude here out on the left side. Hopeful ball into the box. Easily taken out of the air by Kelsey. If I'm her, we're looking to take advantage of that punt again with that heavy winds, quick ball over the top. This one's going to hang a little bit more. Well controlled in the midfield by Altitude. Coming back in against the back four. Well defended by Annika, delaying her advance. Good battle in here in the corner for Altitude and Rivers. Comfortably cleared.
It's going to hold.
That searching long ball again, that just doesn't quite connect. Altitude with possession now out on the left side. Altitude swinging around their back four. Center back stepping into the midfield, looking for that long ball to the right wing. Wind holding that one up again. Cross into the box.
Ooh, it's a tough one for the keeper.
That's a risky pass back for the goalkeeper.
But okay for the keeper to clear it. I have no problems with a clearance like that, just to give yourselves a little bit more time to reset, refocus.
Thrown here for Rivers on their left side. Coach David Cork pacing the sidelines a little bit, getting some instructions out to his players. Ainsley battling well, but unfortunately ending up with a foul against her. Free kick for Altitude just at the top of the attacking third on the right-hand side of the park here for them.
I think, again, once they've had a little bit more time to work with you, they could do things a little bit simpler, easier. Maybe they're playing the obvious ball as opposed to trying to be fancy and not really seeing where they're... Again, we go back to purpose.
Long ball into the left wing. Connected on by Altitude, but the header just wide. Just wide from here. It could have been 10 yards.
Just a bit wide.
Just a bit wide. That wind, though, showing that ball could not stand still for that free kick.
Oh, for sure.
Visit Forward Law for all your legal needs.
Goal kick here for Rivers. Out to Rhea. Switching back out to the right side. She seems to get herself into more trouble than is necessary sometimes.
I would agree. I think sometimes, again, we go back to the simple ball. Play the simple ball out wide. You're not in any sort of trouble then or danger. Coming across your net like she did, now you're drawing more attention to yourself than you need.
Yeah, I think the idea is there, but this wind's just not helping.
No.
And the touch gets away from you, and it's causing those headaches. It's
I
not
agree.
as clean and simple as it should be on a nice, beautiful, non-blustery day.
Yes. How's your score count going with the word blustery now?
For those of you
fans that you're at home and counting.
Altitude ball into the middle here. Good pressure from Annika. Forcing the ball back. Altitude now out on the left side. Back to midfield. Ball over the top. Easy save by the keeper, Kelsey, who smothers the ball under no pressure.
Taking a few ticks off that clock there with that smother.
6 minutes left here in the first half. Punt from the keeper. This is a high one. It's going to hit those center backs again. Touch off the center backs, chasing it out. Not as quick here, but it is forcing Altitude to get stuck in their corner, and the ball is out for a throw right at the corner of the park.
I'm a little I'm dumbfounded because the center back there was doing all these step over crossover, came off of her own team. It would have gone out for a corner kick. Wouldn't it have? Didn't you see the first touch?
Yes,
touch?
Yeah. It would have gone out for a corner kick.
So she's doing all these step overs. Why not just clear it out?
Clear it out, yeah. There you go. I think she was hoping. It looked like she was hoping to keep possession.
Oh, maybe.
Rivers fighting hard to keep Altitude on their heels in the attacking third. Altitude trying to clear out. Intercepted well by Rhea. And possession here on the right side for Rivers. Up to the wing to Kate Ritty.
Decent ball through if you can get there.
Crossing the ball in. Poor touch by Altitude. A bit of a scramble. And cleared out to Rivers, who've got possession. Little battle here. Good battle here on the right wing by that number 17 for Altitude.
Oy.
Rhea Rumo.
For me, it was
fearless there.
A clean tackle.
It was a clean tackle.
I almost think the Altitude player going through her should have been the foul. Could have been the foul the other way.
Rhea coming through and clearing that ball out, just killing the game here.
Rivers FC defender number 12, Rhea Rumo.
This right wing here for Altitude has been a strong player for them.
Has made some decent runs in behind, gotten in behind a few times as well.
This is Maya Smith.
Oh, that's a decent ball in. Tough one for a keeper.
Lofted ball in. Yeah, that bouncing around a little bit in the wind.
That one drops in front, and it's extremely difficult to deal with.
Goalkeeper number 1, Kelsey Fisher.
Possession here for Rivers, looking to play it out to the left side. Ainsley cutting back, playing it out to the right, out to Kate Ritty, who is just a bit too short to take that one out of the air. Throwing for Altitude. Into their center back. Rivers dropping off. Letting their back four have it, just waiting to catch them when they try to play into the midfield or try to play into that attacking third, in that middle third. Ball into Maya Smith here for Altitude. Over the top, onto the right wing. Attempted cross in, blocked by Rhea. Another cross into the box, cleared comfortably by Rivers, but not out of trouble yet. Ainsley taking advantage of a bad touch by Altitude. Long ball through the middle, hopeful for Taylor Miller. Comfortably taken by the goalkeeper for Altitude.
Both teams still seem to have a lot of energy, which is good.
I would say so, yes.
Considering it's early days in a season and game.
Altitude really haven't found any other solution other than trying to play that ball over the top. They're playing that right wing or that center forward.
They've had some really good early crosses into the back post as well.
Yeah.
At least back posts from the booth that we're on.
Rivers have had the advantage of the wind holding that up, but in the second half, if that wind doesn't die down, that could be threatening for Altitude.
Yeah, could be problematic.
Maya Smith comfortably taking out
Fantastic turn.
Getting that cross in, coming into the goalkeeper. Bad bounce. Kelsey recovering and making a nice save.
That's the tough ball we were just talking about, with balls bouncing in front of a keeper and not getting a hole. But fantastic the way Altitude made the run to the goal.
Great work. Yeah, great work by the right wing here for Altitude. For sure, she's the one causing the most threats here for Rivers. Howie just playing that chest high into nobody. Loss of possession, Altitude coming back. Annika lucky she didn't get a call there.
Oh yeah, it was very close.
Pulling the arms down of the Altitude player. Out here on the left side for Altitude. Looking to make a run. Cross in on the right foot. Easily handled by Olivia McMillan.
Looks like a
McClellan.
fantastic block of 8 there. You could really see it here from above.
Yeah, Rivers looking very organized defensively.
I mean, they're up 2-0, but if they had a little bit more passing going on in that final third, for going from the middle third to the final third, we'd actually see way more goals.
Yeah. Another attempt over the top by Altitude, comfortably taken by Rivers. Last few moments here of the first half. It's Maya Smith causing some problems outside of the box, crossing that ball in.
Good decision.
Easily taken out by Rivers FC. Howie playing that out of touch. Throw in here by Altitude. Cross in the box, bit lofted,
Keeper.
off the head of the Altitude. Bit of a scramble.
Keeper coming for it.
Keeper coming for it. That's a free
kick. You better be coming for it, and if you're coming for it, you better get the ball.
Into time added on here now in the first half. Goalkeeper, what would you be looking to do here from the goalkeeper last few seconds?
You know, in all honesty,
2-0 up.
You want to keep the possession out wide and then, play the ball forward to hopefully someone who's a little bit more prepared to maintain possession. Now I would just take your time.
Throw in here for Rivers on the right side of the park. That's the composure here shown by Jocelyn, taking her time on the throw in.
Oi.
No, that's not Jocelyn. Who is that right back?
Yeah, Jocelyn's on the inside.
Jocelyn's out here on the right side.
Looks very familiar. I wouldn't have doubted you after hearing you say it.
There you go. That's halftime. Here at halftime, 2-0 for Rivers over Altitude FC.
You know what? And a pretty good game overall, considering the wind we're playing with and the what kind of conditions?
Windy.
Blustery conditions. No, I'm fairly impressed. I'm happy for Rivers to be up 2-0 and enjoying a bit of I was going to say victory. I was going to say, although they haven't had, I would say possession's probably been pretty well balanced and even 50-50 so far. They've enjoyed the better of it because it's 2-0. Some fantastic corner kicks and crosses in to be finished. It's Altitude is just unlucky that they hadn't been able to get the final touches that they've had because they've had several chances in their end of the game.
They have. I think Rivers has been lucky on a few of those occasions, and the wind has been helping Rivers for sure. That if this wind doesn't die down in the second half, that's going to cause some problems for Rivers dealing with those balls over the back. They're going to be quicker. They're not going to be held up, and they're going to skip.
Yeah,
a lot more.
It'll be interesting to see. The wind technically is supposed to die down. I don't see it dying down. Maybe a little bit towards the middle of the second half, possibly. But we're in for a barnstormer of a second half. Let's see if our friends from the North Shore can come back and either do the business or if Rivers can continue on the pathway they're on and put a couple more in.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the second half and all the drama that this wind will bring.
Yeah, so from Kamloops here in Hillside Stadium.
Hillside
Stadium, Rivers FC versus Altitude Women. We'll be back after
these words from our sponsors.
These words from our sponsors.
I don't think we have that ability, but there you go.
No, we'll definitely be back for the second half. Well, we're back, folks.
Are we on?
How does that feel? We're on. We're live. And we're kicking off.
And we're kicking off. Look at that. Perfect timing. And I got nothing to say at the moment.
Well, I think we're just going to need this first 5 minutes to see who got the right lay of the land. Oh, what a ball from their staff. To see
it's always, coming out. I mean, what are you doing at halftime? You're down 2-0. What's your coach saying? What are you as a coach?
I think as a coach, you're trying to just get the players to continue on the pathway. As we've seen, Altitude had some really good opportunities, and we're moving the ball fairly well. So continue on the same pathway. We just need finishing. So
I would say here, Altitude's coming out with a very high press against Rivers. Even just their goal kick, they're high pressured into the box. Altitude's one possession. I think they're looking to take advantage of the wind here and recognizing that there are some weaknesses in that Rivers back line.
Oh, for sure.
Being a bit too casual. Cross in here from the right-hand side, just wide, but could have been threatening depending on the wind.
Well, and again, depending on the wind, doesn't allow a keeper to really adjust for it if they're not ready for it.
High pressure again from Altitude onto the center back, forcing a throw-in. Oh, must have just clipped the Altitude player on the way out. Throw in for Rivers. It's going to be interesting to see how Rivers adjust their play here to take advantage of that 2-1 lead. Ball out wide here.
This is a
Kate
great
Ritchie,
ball.
Square ball into Taylor Miller. And just a missed strike there by Ainsley Grether. Into Jocelyn, or a missed shot there by Ainsley Grether.
That was well worked up the park here. I think the initial ball was a little too square. Could have gone in behind the defenders and made it more difficult.
Kate Ritchie was wide open. She played the early cross, but she probably could have gone in a little bit deeper. Altitude really looking to press. Really looking to take advantage of that wind. A bad touch by the back line for Rivers, and Altitude can get that advantage. That's a tough tackle from Altitude. Free kick for Rivers.
For those of you watching the feed, if you look at the corner flag that's across the field from us, to the left of your screen, it's bending like crazy. You can see what the blustery conditions here are doing for the players.
I think that word's getting a little bit worn out there, Darren.
All right, fair enough. I can let it go.
Rivers now trying those long balls to clear it, putting themselves under pressure now, that ball getting held up.
You're at 47-50 right now, Pino.
Altitude on the right side. Some capable defending there from Rivers.
Maya Smith for Altitude is quite the handful, the number 17, who's sort of wheeling her way through the middle of the park.
Wheeling, yeah.
Fantastic effort just in front there.
Yeah, no, she is definitely the biggest threat. I've changed my mind, Darren. I think Blustery is back.
Okay, fair enough.
I think Blustery
You know what? We
back.
can keep Blustery in the mix if that's what you determine to have be the word of the day.
Again, high pressure here from Altitude, forcing Rivers to give up a throw-in.
But an unforced error from our friends there from Altitude.
Yeah, just a slight touch by Altitude, giving the throw into Rivers. High pressure again, a little double team on Kate Ritchie. Ball out of play, thrown for Altitude. Good defending from Kate. Possession regained by Altitude. Into their back four.
Pino, did that food truck show up?
Yeah, food trucks.
Awesome, okay.
Yeah, Darren, they ran another event, so they came right at 3. It's fine. It's fine. That's good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've dazed off there.
Yeah. I'm listening to the chatter in the background here.
I was too.
About the food truck.
The food truck.
Food truck was somewhere.
There's a food truck outside of our stadium here, folks. Very
Darren,
happy
Darren
about
Clark,
that.
when I left here, referee assessor, I think he's really looking forward to that food truck.
He's hankering for some grub.
Bit of back and forth play here by Altitude and Rivers. Out to the left side for Altitude.
It looks like they've gone with twin strikers up top here too. It looks like
yeah,
Howie has moved into that striker kind of role as well.
Yeah, hoping to put a little bit more pressure on the Altitude back line.
Or maybe they're going to 4-3-3 is what I'm seeing. Which I think you suggested that in the first half.
I think I did. Altitude over the top.
Again, Maya Smith.
That wind is keeping that ball moving quick. Maya did an excellent job to cross that in and keep possession, but nobody on the end of that. Altitude, the stronger team in the start of this half so far.
Number 1, Kelsey Fisher.
Kelsey really looking to keep that punt low.
Oh, that's a great ball.
Great through ball out here on the left-hand side into Taylor Miller. Shot with the left foot, easily scooped up by the goalkeeper.
Now, do you think she could have maybe cut in front of that defender and forced a foul as opposed to?
Likely. It looked a little bit rushed there. A little bit more composure. Take some contact. Cut across that defender. Dribble a little bit more into the box. You're going to cause a lot of problems.
Wow, that ball just holed up.
Poor clearance by the goalkeeper, as you said, holding up in the wind, creating an advantage for Altitude. Really tough to see those orange sidelines from up here.
It is.
Almost a foul throw there by Rivers on the back line. Poor clearance, Altitude pouncing. Should be able to get a shot out of this. Just wide. From here, just wide. Down there, likely 20 yards wide. But
yeah, Rhea swinging in and out of the one and missing, unfortunately. Didn't cost the Rivers anything, which is a good thing. The one thing, Rhea, although she might have had a little bit of a mistake there in the clearance aspect of it, she'll do her utmost to get back and recover. Exactly.
Recovers well, absolutely. That clearance being held up in the sky again by the wind, just giving Altitude all the advantages they need here.
Again,
excellent
excellent
cross in by Maya Smith there on the right hand side. Just showing Altitude. Altitude had more attacks in the first half. They're showing, even with the wind, they're showing to get more attacks here and looking more threatening. Rivers really have to find some composure here and a bit of routine to absorb these attacks and have some quality possession in the attacking half.
I think they're going a little too much out to the left. I think they could mix it up a little bit, Rivers, and come out the right side of the park.
Playing our side of the park.
Exactly. And then we can actually see the numbers.
Yeah. Cross in the box. Comfortably cleared by...
Sorry.
Karimba?
Karimba, the center back. She's wearing 29, though, and there is no 29 on the... But I'm pretty sure it's her just wearing a different jersey. Yeah, no 29.
Let's pull this up here.
Rivers making
corner kick for Altitude. Rivers making a substitute.
Yeah, substitution
early in the second half. Howie coming out.
By our bronze sponsor, United Flooring.
Can't see the number. Number 20 coming in.
Number 20 coming in for... you just said that. I just thought I'd repeat it just for our fans.
Rima Bachando.
I'll just parrot every Pachando.
There you go.
I'll just parrot whatever you say.
Nothing like a good parroting going on.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Well, one.
Darren Clark here, the referee assessor, just confirming the substitution here.
Rivers FC wishes to thank our founding sponsors, XLS.
Karimbra is the right back here. That's number 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the center back is wearing a different number, so I'm unsure.
Is it? I see 23.
Is it 23 or 29?
I see 23. That's Malia. That's Malia Fernie.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. product of TOSC, but played here with KYSA at U11, U12, and then made it to TOC as a year younger player in the early days. So we're quite excited for her to be stepping on the field here with Rivers. Besides those couple of early attacks by Rivers, it has been the majority altitude in the attacking third. Rivers trying to absorb this pressure, just having a tough time clearing the ball and getting quality possession under this wind.
Again, a different tact. Playing to feet along the ground might be a better methodology than trying to loft it into wind.
Good double team there from Rivers. Can we keep some possession? Lofted ball. Out of play, altitude throw.
Yeah,
clearly a 23 on that jersey, Darren. Not a 29. Yeah.
It is. And a foul against her as we speak.
Foul on play. Free kick to Rivers SC.
Tough to control that ball when it's blowing.
Altitude with the first touch, Rivers with the recovery.
Good turn by Johnson.
Square ball into black. Ball bouncing through to the altitude goalkeeper. It's the first build-up out of the back for altitude, it seems. Rivers haven't adjusted, still doing a low press, keeping them in their defensive third. Just that line of confrontation right around the top of the circle. Altitude out on the right side. Long ball through, wishful ball through. That looks like it's offside. Keeper coming out making a nice save. Linesman did not, the assistant referee, did not raise their flag.
Not at all. Oh. Again, I think a ground game is something they should be looking to do now, and early.
Just
Again.
not adjusting to the wind.
I agree.
Oh, Taylor Miller with a lucky ball through here. Some good pace.
And is it out for a throw? No, it's still in.
Won by altitude. Possession now building up on the left. Into 15. Attacking the back four out here on the left side. Annika Black coming out from midfield. Winning possession back. Good connection here from Rivers.
Good.
Good switch, good turn here. Ainsley out to the left side now. Oh, some nice moves. Nice moves by Rima.
It's the right idea to play it up the flank like that.
Yeah. Altitude building out of the back again. Long ball, testing the wind here. Way to shield that out, Rhea.
Easily shielded out by Rhea.
Easily shielded out.
Easily. I've had too much prime. It's getting to me.
These long balls could be threatening, but I think they're just being overhit just a tad here by altitude. And it's just a race to the end line to see if they can keep it in.
It'll take them a few minutes here to adjust and understand the way of the wind, so to speak.
The build of the bluster?
The build of the bluster.
That's it, folks. You love us. Here we go. Rivers with a throw in here on the left side. Altitude with possession. Back to the goalkeeper. No pressure from Rivers. Dropping off to get organized. I say dropping off, though. They didn't drop off.
No. Altitude's looking to draw people out, it seems.
Yeah.
Not really working.
Big gap here between the front block here of Rivers and that defensive block.
Agreed.
Back for altitude. There's that ball over the top again. That ball has pace. That ball has pace coming over there.
Again, tough enough that it's on turf. It rolls so much faster, but when you add the wind factor, you're really tough in tempering the weight of a pass.
Tough in tempering the weight of the pass. Darren, we are wordsmiths.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Altitude just with some choppy possession in midfield here. Throw in for Rivers. That does look like a full bench for Rivers. Everyone huddled together for some warmth.
I think a good chunk of it is staff as well. A mixture. A definite far cry from the altitude bench.
Just some back and forth here on the left side. Nobody being able to really build some possession out of this.
Push on the back.
Taking a throw in for Rivers FC, number 16, Olivia McLennan.
There you go. That's a better
It's a strong
toss.
throw. Got some build up here now from altitude. Looking to play that out to the left. Good play out to 15 here. Team captain for altitude.
Oh, that was a good
Good
decision.
combination play out here to the wing. Let's see what they can make from this altitude. Nice cut back. There's a foul.
It's in a tough place too. That's can be very, very much with the wind a dangerous
Right
spot.
foot with the wind. This could be very threatening. I'll just echo what you said.
Would you did just echo what I said?
We kick him in for Altitude FC.
I think she's going to go for it too. I don't know if she's going to look to play it back post.
This here is Avery Tulloch. Right-footed shot on goal. Just
heavy.
Just a bit heavy.
Right idea though. I mean,
Right idea.
you've got the wind like that. You may as well take advantage of it as best you can.
Absolutely. High press again. High press. High ball into Kate Ratty. Unable to keep possession. Cleared out by altitude. Throw into Rivers.
That could definitely be a new slang word for pressure. Hey, get the press going.
Press. Get the press. Put the press on.
I like it.
Kate Ratty throwing her body into that tackle. Possession here for Rivers.
Great ball across.
Out to the right wing here for Kate. Connection with Ainsley. Bounced off an altitude player. Rivers throw. Ainsley looking to bring some quick hustle and energy, getting that quick throw in. Altitude clearing out. No pressure here for Rivers and Kelsey with the clearance. That ball getting hung up in the air, those high ones, we can see that.
That's troubling for the defenders as well, though, because it holds up so much, you just don't know.
It's hard, and the longer it hangs, the more it kicks further
Kicks back,
away.
exactly.
So you're set and organized and ready to go, and then it kicks back 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah. Oh, what a ball
Ainsley
if we
trying
get
to play
there.
that through ball into Taylor. Ainsley taken out in the play. And free kick Rivers.
With 28 minutes to go here, Rivers sort of making their first foray towards the goal. Be nice to see a little something come out of this.
This is the... we'll see how threatening this can be. This getting hung up in the box, this could be problematic. Jocelyn Orr on the end of this. Kate Ratty cutting inside. Strike with her left. That could have been a handball.
I think so, too. Smart decision by Rhea.
Raya Rumo playing that out wide to... Oh, that ball held up in the wind.
Which
That long ball into the box from...
I want to say it was from
no,
the
14 from Cambria. Held up just a bit, but nobody on the end of that.
I want to say those are the type of balls we saw very much so in the first half from altitude.
Absolutely.
Another great ball through.
Slotted ball through, just nothing on the end of that either. If Kate presses that a little bit more, that's causing more problems there. It looks like Rivers are just being too polite, letting Altitude come out comfortably.
I think they're starting to come into a bit of their own in the
There's
last
that
few
ball.
minutes.
On the out, still chasing that, still chasing that. That is carrying fast and far.
But did you see the distance that Rhea
Had to
covered
together.
to close it down, and she did.
Yeah.
It looked like very easy for her.
Gazelle, you would say.
Gazelle-like. Very
Gazelle-like,
gazelle-like. Probably should be in the Serengeti.
Gliding like a gazelle. We can get the alliteration here going
Yeah.
too. Annika Black battling hard at the top of the box, making life difficult for Altitude. Ball out wide on the left, just seemingly a bit too much. I feel Altitude could have gone on the end of that.
I think so too. I'm
Yeah.
very much liking the way Rivers is collapsing though within the box to sort of block every opportunity for Altitude.
Ray on the ball, out to the left side for Olivia. Just no one really showing for that ball. Everybody just running and looking for that long ball.
Not a big fan of the outside of the foot pass. I find it very inaccurate and not something easily controlled.
That's because you're a goalkeeper, Darren.
True.
Yeah.
True. What's that?
Oh, that was my bread and butter, slicing with the outside. If you don't have a left foot, you got to slice with the outside of the right.
No.
Same outcome. Back and forth battles here between Rivers and Altitude. Substitution for Altitude. Out of the game, is that Maya Smith?
No, it's a 16. 16 out. Where is she? As we scramble for our phones.
It's Kiana Langston coming out, and coming into the game was 18, Amaya Hayes. Is that the first substitution there for Altitude?
That's the substitution.
Could be.
Coming out of the game, number 16, Kiana Langston.
Well, the first one for this half, I believe.
Yeah, it is a short bench for Altitude, so they will run into some troubles through to after the 70th minute. Kate
Tough.
Ratti.
Amaya Hayes is a TRU player as well, playing for Altitude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Very, very tough as nails type player.
Possession here on the right side of the park for Rivers. Square ball into Annika, just the touch slightly off. Good work here by number 17 for Altitude to get him behind, cause some problems, and a shot just not threatening enough.
But again, Amaya Smith kept causing all kinds of problems for the Rivers back four.
Kelsey Fisher.
Indeed, indeed.
Good decision.
Well, some good little possession here from Rivers, getting that ball out on the left-hand side for Jocelyn Orr, connecting in with Taylor. Just pinging that ball a little bit too much into Jocelyn's feet. Loss of possession. Altitude with the ball. Good show in the middle by Altitude. Good defending by Annika Black. She is a difficult player to deal with in the middle of the park.
Agreed. I'm finding, though, that once we're getting into the final third, Rivers is struggling a little bit to be proactive in their movement, to get into a position to receive the ball from the player on the ball.
I think it's just it just shows the lack of time together. They're getting in there. It seems they've clearly worked on defensive organization, and the attacking phase still needs to be worked on.
Yep,
They're in there, but there's no clear purpose.
exactly.
Good free kick in here from Altitude. Could have been threatening, but nobody on the end of that. Bouncing out of play.
We talked about it in the first half, and you just reiterated the word purpose, and that's, you definitely have to have purpose with what you want to do moving forward.
Ball won in the midfield by Annika Black. Rivers settling possession. Out wide to the left side. Switched into the middle of Kate Ritty.
A lot of late tackles coming through in this half.
A lot of late tackles. Again, I'll just parrot what
Oh,
you
you
say.
just
Yeah.
parrot the late tackle scenario.
Free kick here for Rivers. Setting up for a long ball, but we'll see how this wind hinders that. Ball on the ground, out wide to the left to Rima.
She's done well.
Rima has done well. She's an exciting player to watch. Ooh, that ball held up by the wind over the back line, creating an opportunity for 17 here on Rivers with that shot just going over the crossbar.
Great effort by the Rivers group. All coming from Rima and her movement. And a fine ball in.
Altitude not wasting any time, coming right back at Rivers. Ball in the middle of the park. Out left, looking like offside. Flag is up. A referee from the whistle.
Great to see all these university players getting onto these League One teams and getting some extra runs in before their seasons start in late summer, early fall.
It's got to be a long year for a lot of those players. They're just coming off. They're coming off of a heavy fall season into a spring season and then into a League One season too. It keeps them sharp, keeps them active. It can certainly benefit the universities when they come back.
I think what would be beautiful is to see a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Just a little bit of more work between the leagues and the universities, just to make sure that there is maybe a little gap in the season or something that allows for a break for university players.
Well, I believe this is not intended to be a university off-season league. It is intended to
true
be
enough.
a standalone league.
Yeah.
And so that's where some of these challenges come from.
Yeah.
Opportunities for players beyond university. It is an under 23 with some overagers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always growth in any environment's always a challenge. There's
For sure.
New routines, new expectations.
Yeah. That's again Amaya Smith giving a little bit of a problem to the back line. All the ball really heavy coming through again. I guess the wind is continuing.
They just haven't really. It's causing a problem for Rivers for sure. The wind, but Altitude just haven't been able to take advantage of it.
No.
Unlike Rivers did in the first half. Throw in here on the left side for Altitude. Just at the top of the box. Bounce pass back. Back to the center backs, swinging it around. Into that center back who likes to play over the top. Looking to play to the left side. Ooh, great touch.
What a
fantastic
strike.
goal from Altitude. Great reception by that striker. First touch, turned, volleyed, full in.
Yeah,
Not carried in by the wind. Just that bullet.
You cannot deny that for sure. Alex Paul with the strike, and what a volley that was. Again, the wind, the way she struck it, everything had pace behind it. No chance for the keeper at all.
2-1 here for Rivers. Altitude now with momentum. They do say 2-0 is the hardest lead to hold.
What a turn again. She's done fantastically
Rima
well.
has done a great job out on that left side. Lucky breakthrough here. Keeper coming out, making contact. Free kick for Altitude before that contact from the keeper with Rivers occurred. I think Altitude lucky
Altitude FC goals scored by
to get through here.
Alex.
Yeah, you know what though? We talked about the effect of the wind, and now you're playing against it and trying to come forward. It's a lot more difficult to do. Now putting this one goal in and getting a goal, you're right, momentum shifting slightly here.
It's going to be a scramble. It's going to be a scramble this last little bit. Altitude pushing. And looking to take advantage of that high ball, missed header. Out for a throw-in for Altitude. But Rivers suffering from the same advantage they got in the first half. It's 4:40, Darren. You said this wind was dying.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
We talked about that right off the bat, how deceptive the balls can be coming in from the flanks, how they float towards a keeper, and keepers need to adjust and be ready.
A searching cross that ended up in the back of the net.
So we are now tied.
2-2 with 16 minutes to go. Rivers definitely on the
Back
challenging
foot.
end of this.
Yes.
Altitude, I don't know. Long ball in now.
Here we go.
Over
the
the
other way.
top. Into Kara Freeman. Rivers looking to panic now. You just need to settle down, find the game that gave him a few advantages in the start of this half.
Yeah, a little more composure on the ball, understanding, realizing that what's going on with the wind.
Scored by number 15, Avery Tulloch.
Maya Smith causing all sorts of problems up front.
Oh, what a
nice
ball.
little through ball out to the left. Just too much on it for 18 to get to the end of.
Amaya to Maya. Or, pardon me, Maya to Amaya. That's what it was.
Again, for ladies and gentlemen at home, the wordsmiths.
Yes.
Rivers with possession. Long ball in from Cambria. Possession won by Altitude. Coming back up here on the left side. Slaughtered ball through to Maya. No connection. Easily picked up by Kelsey. Kelsey?
That's the goalkeeper,
Kelsey.
number 1, Kelsey Fisher.
Possession one off the punt by Altitude. A little scramble back and forth. Throw in Altitude.
Altitude becoming a little bit more aggressive here on the ball.
Two quick goals. That momentum, that drive, that passion. It fuels you. It fuels you. It's tough to take that going from a 2-0 lead to a 2-2 tie, playing against the wind.
Yeah, very difficult. Very difficult.
14 minutes left. This will be a grind for Rivers. Altitude definitely with the advantage. If they get tired, they can clear and it's carried down the park. If Rivers get tired, they try to clear. It gets hung up in the air. Some sloppy possession, just not enough urgency here from Rivers. Ball out for a corner kick. Altitude.
You can see, I mean, it's taking a little bit more time with the possession around the back, not forcing it, not playing balls into tight channels, trying to play the easiest player that's open. And a lot of that's just having good shoulder checks, good understanding of what's around you before you receive the ball. Once you've received it, it's moving it then.
Just the basics are falling apart.
Exactly.
Just a little bit of urgency. Make sure it gets there. Can't be complacent.
Foul.
Tackle on the back from Altitude. Free kick for Rivers. Kelsey playing that quick. Rivers not even set yet. Attempted long ball up from Malia. Kate Ritty failing to keep possession. Altitude with possession. These small little mistakes are going to be costing Rivers in the long run. Ainsley coming through the back of 15. Free kick. Altitude. With this win, dangerous position. Dangerous position.
Very, very much so.
Dip that over the top. Awkward bounce. Difficult to handle coming into the box.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lofted ball to the back post.
Sending up their center back. Getting that shot.
Again,
looked like a shot?
I was
That
going to
looked like a
say, with
shot.
the wind, from that distance, she probably had an opportunity to hit the target.
Altitude reading the short goal kicks here. High pressure on the center backs, forcing Rivers to clear. Loss of possession. Top of the box now for Altitude. Shot saved by Kelsey.
Rivers FC goalkeeper number 1, Kelsey Fisher.
Rivers just not finding themselves at the moment. Trying to force something that's not quite there. Altitude coming back. Rivers trying to clear. Altitude with possession. Rivers trying to clear. Altitude with possession. Chipped ball. Didn't quite get there. Rivers with possession. Rima on the ball. Nice composure. Some possession here by Rivers into the attacking half. Altitude wins the ball back.
It's what they need.
Out for a Rivers throw.
They need more possession. They're losing sight a little bit of what got them the first 2 goals in the first place.
Simple, clean, organized defense. Just waiting, absorb the pressure, win the ball. Simple possession. They got to get over the panic mode.
And again, like you said, about being 2-0 up for so long, all of a sudden it's 2-2 now, and you're in a scrap.
It's difficult to say, especially from the season Rivers had last year. Challenged game after game. There's a lot of that mentality in some of the players, just that lack of belief. And it's hard to deal with 2-0 up, 2 goals scored in 7 or 8 minutes against you.
I would say 7 minutes, maybe, yeah.
It's hard to maintain that belief, and Rivers really has to dig down deep here to show themselves that they can handle this.
Well, they won the first half. It's something that you need to ingest and make sure it's in your head, so that when you come out for that second half, you know you can perform, you know you can get to that next level and make things happen for your team. So you have to stick to that.
Free kick here for Rivers. Headed on. Possession altitude. Out for a throw-in. Rivers throw. Rivers trying to pick up the pace here.
Hey, we're hoping you're going to stick around, too. As you can see in behind both goals right now, the men's team's warming up, preparing for a match, which will kick off at 5 o'clock our time here. Stick around.
Yeah.
Kieran and I will be here, and we'll be wordsmithing like crazy.
Wordsmithing like crazy. Free kick here for Rivers on the left side. This is likely looking like they're setting up for a lofted ball into the top of the box.
Great ball.
What can you get on the knockdown? Good little challenge there.
Bit of a clearance by the Rivers player. Now
Ball back to Rivers' possession. A little 1v1 play. Low pressure here from Rivers against the altitude back 4.
Smart
Good
by
composure.
altitude, yeah.
Swinging around the goalkeeper. They're feeling confident. They know they've got the wind. Attempted long ball. Poor clearance here by Rivers. Choppy play back and forth, but altitude ending up with a nice slotted through ball to the left wing. And small cross that was really a small shot, asking a lot of that.
Yeah, again, I struggle sometimes in the women's game with the angles that they choose to take strikes from.
Just a cutback, a touch.
Yeah.
Set yourself up. It's a very, very hopeful shot, that one. Kara Freeman looking for that through ball, just getting intercepted by the center back. Possession of Rivers, throw. High press again from altitude. They're really not giving Rivers any time or space. Rivers are having to work hard to gain those inches and feet on the field.
Again, no pressure here from Rivers to try and force something out of the back.
Here you might change your tactic, though, with knowing their backline can just tap that over the top.
True.
And you're dealing with that, like dropping off and giving them that space can actually cause you problems.
Yeah, very much so. And we're not down a goal. We're tied, so no need to give away the farm. You know, if you have a farm.
If you have a farm. If you don't have a farm.
If you don't have a farm, you're not giving anything away.
But what might you be giving away instead?
You could be giving away prime.
Prime.
Here we go.
Nice turn by Kara.
Well, we're still good. We're still good.
Rima with the lucky ball. Little chip over the top. Pressure by Taylor Miller on the Altitude center back. Taylor can be a nuisance to play against. She is relentless.
That was a good effort there.
Altitude with possession. Low press from Rivers. I think you'll see Altitude looking to play this ball over the top. Easily intercepted by Rhea. Altitude again trying to play over the top. Nice turn from Kara.
Good. Looking to maintain
Great
possession.
composure. Looking better here from Rivers. Slotted through ball for Rima. Not quite expecting it.
Again, a little more proactive nature for these players will allow them to get on balls like that. Thinking about making the run after the pass is a moot point.
Moot indeed. Rivers with a throw in the attacking third. Comfortable possession from Kara. Double teamed.
Good fight.
Good battle by Rima to try to win that ball back. I've got that, right? Rima?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
A little bit of our
Touch
own.
for Rivers at the edge of the box.
Way.
Just tipped by Altitude out for a throw for Rivers. Rivers swinging around their back four. Nope, they're not. Playing back up on the same side where Altitude are concentrated. Out for a throw in Rivers' possession. Now they're close to a foul throw.
I was just thinking that's a little odd.
Low press from Rivers, letting Altitude come out. Nice little combination play by Altitude in the middle. Slotted through ball here for Maya. Maya's got the legs. Will she get there? Just off. Just off.
Good effort, though. She's been such a strong player for Altitude.
4.5 minutes left in the second half of regulation.
We start thinking about a player for a match or player of the match for both.
Well played here by Araya. Cleared the ball out. Choppy possession back and forth. So far, I'd have to say, I think we all know our favorite here on the Altitude side.
Yeah,
that's
I think so.
That's a high foot. Few names for
Rivers.
For Rivers, you've got Annika, who's done a great job in the midfield. Ainsley, who's been was instrumental in that second goal.
I think Rhea, although she's made a couple of her own problems, she's done really well at getting caught up.
She's
and
done, especially early into that first half.
Yeah, Taylor's done well as well up front.
Taylor got the first goal. Ainsley with the second. And Rima has come on here in the second half, and it's just lighting up that left side of the park. Exciting player to watch for sure. Rivers trying to work around at the back here, trying to find an opening to play out. Looking to avoid playing that long ball in the air. Getting some success playing out through to Rima. Little combination up the left side.
That's a great ball by
Kara
Rima.
Freeman on a run. Everyone's running away from her, though. Nobody is showing for that short.
No, agreed. Tough thing to do. Eh? Tough to get players the ball or see that they're open when they're running away from you.
Well, and at this stage of the game, you're hoping for just kick it long and let me get on the end of it, and I'll create something. And you've got to stick to a game plan. But this is where the newness, I guess, of
players
of players of the team being together. This is where you're seeing that deficiency at the moment.
Yeah,
and it will only improve as the team grows into the season.
On. Yeah,
hopeful shot there from distance, easily taken care of by Rivers goalkeeper.
Oy, miss kick.
Oh, that punt, only making it 10 yards, held up in the air. Rivers need to work hard to get out of this cleanly, which they have almost managed. Altitude with possession. Back to Rivers. Altitude coming forward. hopeful shot, easily handled by the Rivers keeper.
With a couple of minutes to go, though, I think you want a little more clarity in your efforts to clear your lines, get the ball forward, maintain possession. Every giveaway with the wind, facing you is a tough proposition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rivers have to be sharp on every touch. You cannot falter for a moment here.
No.
Altitude have the advantage of this blustering wind. They can get away with by being lazy with long balls because the wind's going to cause problems.
Offside on a Maya Hayes there for Altitude.
Rivers goalkeeper with a free kick at the top of the box.
Rivers FC substitution. Coming out of the game for your Rivers FC, number 20, Rima Bachondo.
Rima out of the game. I wonder if she took a clip there. And is nursing an injury
Could be.
possibly.
FC, number 11, Caitlin McRoberts-Berry.
Kaylee McRoberts making her debut here for Rivers FC.
Haven't seen Kat Stewart again, too. She must have gotten injured coming out of the game.
Maybe.
Boy.
Good battle here on the right side by Altitude. Attempted cross shot into the box, just not enough on that to cause any problems for Rivers.
We'll see how much extra time is involved here. And
Time added on?
not quite yet. Or time added on.
Time added on. Yeah. I don't believe we play extra time. It's time added on.
What did I say?
Extra time.
Additional time?
Extra time. Yeah. Altitude with a bit of possession here.
The fourth official, Victoria Warner, has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes extra time.
4 minutes of extra time. Always thought it was time added on.
Go on, wordsmith.
I'm not sure what the official terminology is. Is it extra time here, Darren? Is it time added on?
I think anything extra is a problem for
Added on time. Extra. Prime time.
prime time. It's not extra time. It's
Prime
added on
time.
Prime time.
Ball over the top on the left wing for Altitude. Well defended by Cambria. Cambria?
Cambria. That's a tough one. It's interesting name.
Throw in here for Altitude. Last few moments.
Not a lot of people inside the box for Altitude.
Rivers need to be sharp here. A mistimed pass.
Oi,
a missed
oi, oi.
touch.
Those are the scariest little flicks with when you're playing against the wind to have that ball come at you as a keeper.
Absolutely.
Just a little floater.
Goal kick here for Rivers. Caught up in the air. Back and forth possession.
Here we go. Come on.
Kara Freeman coming forward. Ball out to the left.
Now everyone should get forward. Everyone gets forward. Or you do
a
that.
poor pass into the feet of Altitude. Altitude now coming back on the counterattack. Annika Black doing well to hold them up. This ball slotted through. Just no one on the end of that. Easily picked up by the Rivers goalkeeper.
I think that's almost the first time I haven't seen the keeper hit the deck there in a smother.
There you go.
Which at this juncture in the game I might have done.
It might be the time to do it.
Might be the time to do
Little
it.
flick through to Maya Smith, but again, our keeper comfortably on the end of that. High press again from Altitude, really giving Rivers a difficult time getting out.
And a foul on Altitude.
Free kick to Rivers. Just simple mistakes that are being made. Unforced errors, just costing a lot of lost possession. Cambria here
That's
with
a
that long
great
ball
ball.
through. That's going to sit well for Taylor Miller.
Come on, can we get there? Can we get there, young'un? That's a great effort.
That's a good effort. Great ball through by Cambria. Good vision over the top.
A little bit more of a
ball.
bounce for Taylor, and she's
Just
in.
that and that just held up just a smidge, allowing Altitude to get that touch. Free kick here for Altitude with Annika Black coming through the back of the Altitude player.
Having no qualms of going right through the back of
No
the
qualms. Annika is a
beast.
challenging player to play against. tenacious, determined, fearless.
She's in mini beast mode.
Annika winning possession here. A little touch through to Taylor. Combination with Ainsley.
Come on.
No one making those forward runs. No one making those forward runs. Just no options here for Rivers. Altitude on the counter. Good step in by the left back here for Rivers. Really disrupting the play.
Maya Smith has
It's
to
going to
be
be an
offside.
offside, but ball has gone out.
We have to be nearing the end of that 4 minutes
We
of
do.
added time.
We do. Short goal kick here for Rivers. High pressure from Altitude. Winning possession. A little combination here on the left side. Nice give and go. Ray Arumo stepping in.
And that
And
is
that's
full
the final
time.
whistle.
Final
2-2.
whistle. Well, I mean,
Seemingly a fair result.
I think so. I mean, knowing how much possession and chances that Altitude had in that first half, I think they were unlucky not to be on the board in that first half. So, this being a little bit more in their favor going the second half, I think we were able to finally get some semblance of shape that allowed us to. They seemed to calm down that last 10 minutes, Rivers as well. So
Yeah, good, strong performance defensively. I think from Rivers, they were organized. That wind didn't help them. They didn't adjust to that wind. Really didn't. Altitude Rivers had the advantage of the wind in the first half. Altitude took advantage of it in the second half. 2-2 seems to be a fair result.
yeah, I would think so. Good things looking.
Good things looking good.
Good things looking good.
things
moving
looking
forward. I'm excited for the rest of the season for these kids on Rivers FC. I think if they can continue their growth and continue to get used to each other, we'll see some really exciting matches and games. A draw right off the bat. That's maybe not the start they were looking for as far as their first home game goes. But at the end of the day, it's a point still. They didn't drop any points. It shows that they're in the mix right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Well, Darren, it's been great working with you for this first game of the season. We'll see you
likewise.
in about
a half hour?
20 minutes, half hour for the next one.
About a half hour for the next one.
All right.
For those of you listening online, hey, stick around. We'll be right back with the men's game. Well, right back. Another 20 minutes, another prime or two, and maybe we'll go visit the food truck.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.